Welcome back, everybody. We've got the last matchup of our night about to get underway, heading into the Challenger League. Once again, I'm joined by a fresh new caster here, but most of you probably already know his name. I got Bubbly Reaper in the booth. What's going on, Bubbly?
I am happy to finally be on a mainstream Nemesis cast. Been sitting in practice for weeks and weeks at the whole off season, and they finally let me in the booth. And we got an exciting matchup for it. What do we got?
We got Dissolved versus Motion. I just want to point out that sounded very sad, like you've just been sitting in a booth by yourself, like talking to yourself.
I have, like months on end.
Well, we finally let him out into the public. Let's see how he does.
I'm hoping I can do good.
Either way, we've got a nice matchup here as Dissolved and Motion both sitting at 3-1 here, and looks like we're gonna have a bit of an interesting matchup as it appears Dissolved is missing their highest MMR player, but should still be a good one. What can you tell us about this matchup, Bubbly?
You know, I think that Dissolve missing their highest MMR player and RL aspect, I feel like that's going to be a big hit for them. Motion, if everybody shows up, Poseidon, Problem, Wolfie are all higher MMR than everyone on Dissolve that showed up. And, it's possible for teamwork, cooperation. You can beat a team that's better than you. But when all three are just individually better than the other three, it's going to be an uphill battle for Dissolved, if you ask me.
Well, they are a little bit of an underdog, but MMR isn't everything. Ranks are always changing.
This is true.
Sometimes you peak and maybe you can't quite reach that level again, and sometimes you peak low, go high. Either way, I'm gonna bring it to you, Bubbly, before we get this one started. It sounds like you're already leaning towards Dissolve, but what do you think for your prediction?
I am definitely leaning towards Motion and not Dissolved.
Or Motion. That's what I said.
But, I don't see Dissolve doing it. I'm sorry. We'll see. But what do you got?
Whoa, you're not supposed to flip it on me. You have so
Yes, I
little
can.
faith. You know what? I'm gonna go for Dissolved. I want to see a 5-game series where Dissolved makes Bubbly eat his words. That's what I'm rooting for. And we'll see how we get off to the start. The players are joining up here now. Like you said, Cosme Flame Intruder, but he's not on Flame, he's on Dissolved. Don't get confused there. The RL Aspect versus Problem, Sicko, and Wolfie. Definitely will be tough, but let's see how this one unfolds. It's right off the bat. Demo off the kickoff. Nice little 50 in the midfield. RL Aspect with the first chance, and he just can't quite hit that shot. It was a great opportunity for Dissolve there, but let that one slip away. Luckily, there should be plenty more, and it looks like there will be as Wolfie just able to get back to this one just barely. And I believe this is the Wolfie Bubbly that we've seen on the Bishops most of the time before, if I'm not mistaken.
This is his first season not on the Bishops. 5 seasons over there. Finally moved teams. But I also want to point out for Motion over here, they're missing Poseidon. So we got both teams missing their highest MMR player. Might make me eat my words here.
Yeah, you know what? That's true, actually. I'm not sure where Poseidon's at. I know he works a lot. Man's probably just busy somewhere, but it looks like we will have an more even matchup than we thought. So far, we remain scoreless in the first mid as well. A nice block there, preventing the shot from being taken by Flame. So far, both teams do look evenly matched. This one gonna linger in the corner a little bit. Wolfie with a nice dunk. Flame backflips, and Problem's going to have an opportunity there. The follow-up shot also going to go wide, though. And so far, both teams, Bubbly, looks like have had some good opportunities, but neither have really been able to hit the net yet.
Yeah, that third man has been solid on both ends of the field. They got to find that one last push to get it past. Find something. We're getting close. And there it is! The one third man beat.
And a little bit awkward there. I really thought that Flame missed that for a second. He had the entire net, and he chose to keep us on the edge of our seats, just hitting it straight up at the bar. Luckily, it came back down, and Dissolved will take well, not an early lead, but they will take the first lead of the series here. Might be able to get one more. This Problem going to control this one nicely in the corner. They're dribbling it out. Actually taking it very far. Cosme can't get a good touch. This Motion's gonna go off the side. It's awkward for RL Aspect, but he does well. Keep patient. And Cosme gonna get a nice 50 on the other end of things. Trying to do this all himself, actually gets the fake pass, and RL Aspect will put it in.
You're sitting there, third man defender in net. You gotta commit to something. You gotta jump for the ball. But how are you supposed to read that? That was a beautiful fake from him. Get the last defender out of there, and they're up 2-0.
Very true. Perhaps the second man could have been a little bit quicker there, but how do you read that fake? It's just completely impossible. The most effective shot in the book, and Cosme actually gonna get the flip reset. Can't quite get any power on it. This ball is still dangerous. There's Motion on the back foot now. Flame Intruder up, looking for another double touch. Problem's gonna send it up, but the ball's still hanging over the Motion goal. Finally sent away. Flame can't get the touch to keep it in. Aspect looking for the pass middle. Actually just decides to go off the wall and drive back around again. A little bit of roundabout action there, like when I missed the turn to Jimmy John's and have to circle around the roundabout one more time. This one still dangerous. So far, it does seem like Dissolved have pretty good control of this one, Bubbly.
Yeah, but it's barely gone in Dissolve's half. Like, every time it comes, you saw the pressure at the start of the game from Motion, but they just haven't been able to figure out anything in this middle part of the series.
Definitely seems that way, and they might be regretting not capitalizing off of some of their earlier opportunities. Now less than 2 minutes left. Cosme looking for the double touch. Can't quite find it though. Just barely ran out of boost. And Aspect deciding not to get a touch there, or just missing the ball. Either way, I think a smart play to not mess up his teammate. That's a nice bump in the midfield. Wolfie gonna hit this one off the side. Cosme has to rush back. And the ball, even though it has been in Dissolve's half just a little bit more often, still not really looking that dangerous as RL Aspect gets it middle. Cosme there for the shot. I think he could have just shot that one, but went for a double touch instead. And the ball might go all the way to the other half. RL Aspect gets back just in time. And the ball comes ever so much closer to the Dissolved half, but they're still not able to put anything away as Motion. It's this one, once again, off of Dissolve's backboard. Nothing's still happening. Motion trying desperately to get the ball into play. Get a good shot attempt. Sicko has a shot, but blocked by 2 defenders. And still here, Bubbly, Motion, excuse me, cannot find anything to save their life.
Motion, they're starting to get opportunities. Right as you say they aren't. They finish off a great goal. Just a perfect little pass off the corner. One miss from the defender, and their positioning been great. They capitalize there.
You know, I'd like to formally apologize to Dissolved. I didn't mean to Caster's Curse that one into manifesting, but probably did. We'll see if they can hold on for 30 more seconds now. Motion took them a while to score, but they get another couple looks to the net. Could just even this one up, because that one's going to go past one. A little bit of miscommunication on defense, but it seems to work out for Motion as Wolfie, with no boost, can't really get a good clear. Problem putting this one up high. Flame Intruder sends it away. Actually, that'll be another shot. Cosme with the huge block. And that just might secure the game as this one's hanging on the goal line. Not the best touchdown from the defender. An awkward spot.
You know, you're down a goal, 10 seconds left. You gotta push up. Everybody rushing back to save the long clear, and he just couldn't get a good enough touch. That should secure game 1 for Dissolved, but don't want to Caster's Curse them again.
Now we might be seeing a few shenanigans. Looks like Motion will at least get some possession, but all Dissolved has to do is play for time, and looks like Motion really helping out a little bit playing volleyball. Keeping this one up in the air. Oh, gonna look for one more. Maybe a consolation goal for Motion, if anything. But looks like that one will drop, and Dissolved takes game 1 in what looked like a game where they were never really in that much trouble.
Yeah, at the start it was a little back and forth. There was some pressure, but right around the 3-minute mark, Dissolve just took over that game. They had all the control, all the pressure. Motion, they kept even at shots, but none of them really felt memorable or good opportunities.
Yeah, other than that one goal that they were able to put away, Dissolve's defense looked solid, or at least solid enough to deal with all of the offense that Motion was throwing at them. which at the end of the day, I feel like it comes down to motion not really creating too many uh, outstanding opportunities rather than Dissolve not making that many mistakes. There were a lot of holes in Dissolve's defense, just motion didn't really seem to capitalize on any of them.
Oh yeah, you said it. And I know the pregame I talked about, I expect Motion to be the ones high flying, making them solo plays. But it was really Dissolved who came out and created those opportunities. I'm looking for Motion to do a little more creative individual efforts coming into this next game.
Absolutely, and no doubt they're probably struggling a little bit with the absence of Poseidon, who has been a challenger player for a couple seasons now, I believe, has been one of the better ones. Definitely someone that you think the team looks to try and help them create those opportunities and take wins. I want to say Sicko is a sub in for Poseidon.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Sicko also was a good, I believe, novice player last season, or maybe a couple seasons ago. But it's hard to step up, especially when you're a sub. There's a lot of weight on you. It can be difficult to live up to all that, as Dissolved might be off to another early lead here. Can't quite find the finish. Now it's Motion on the other end of things. Wolfie looking for the demo, but Flame avoids the demo and gets a nice touch. Great outplay to keep the ball out of his own net. So that was a little bit dangerous. This one will bounce mid again. Aspect off the wall. Cosme getting this one high. There's no one on the backboard. Sicko able to get that clear. The ball sent back once again. Already looking like a repeat of game one. Dissolved holds all the pressure. Looking for another shot. That one not going to work its way through. As it still looks dangerous for Motion. Aspect tries to get the angle. Can't quite find it. Flame backup. Can't put it away either. And Dissolved will be sent back to their half, but already it looks like Motion is feeling the pressure.
We're a whole minute into this game, and that was the first time it's left Motion's half. They gotta find some way, boom the ball, get some pressure relieved, get some boost, and start to create the opportunities.
That was almost a good attempt there. Weren't quite able to find the accuracy. But they did get the ball out of their half for a second. Now it's right back in. It's Wolfie hitting this one off. Problem. Avoids the bump in net. Is able to get a touch on there. It was a very close opportunity for Dissolved once again. That's an awkward touch now. Cosme passes at middle and just an unfortunate defensive play, but Motion will take their first lead of the series.
There you go. It was nothing special for Motion. They just finally relieved some pressure. One mistouch by Dissolved, a little miscommunication coming back on defense, and Motion in the right spot to take advantage of it.
And take advantage they do, as they'll be happy to finally have themselves a lead, but they have to be careful now. Sicko, the save off of his own crossbar. That was not an easy position, not one you want to find yourself in, but he does well. That's a nice save. Dissolved, still not able to find anything in game two here. Seems like they're finding all of the pressure, but Motion's dealing with it much better than they did in the first game. This one will be sent out. Problem, able to get a touch the defender didn't expect. Now trying to look and get it past Cosme. Cosme has to flip. But nothing will be amounted to it yet. Sicko with a nice touch middle. This could be an opportunity for Motion, but no one there to put away. Didn't have faith in their teammate to get it past, unfortunately. And now, looks like we're back to a pretty even game if it goes this whole way. We're looking at a pretty even series here, Bubbly.
Oh yeah, Motion has really adapted well. I noticed Dissolved is going for these high-flying, crazy plays. Almost puts one in, but Motion's just sitting back defensive, waiting for them to use up all their boosts, and getting these counterattacks. And Dissolved it's now their turn. They gotta change something up, figure something out, get some more opportunities on net.
Ooh, and they'll have to figure it out a little bit sooner as another goal goes in. There we see Problem coming through. Love the skyline, by the way, but he just gets a nice touch pass. Barely able to adjust and make the read. And another point where Dissolved, there just wasn't really anybody in net, leaving their third man in an awkward position there, it looked like. I'll have to see if they can fix these errors and try to come back in game two. Important game for Motion, as they definitely don't want to be on match point after this one. But they're looking comfortable right now. Sicko controlling the ball nicely there. Not the bell. Problem, we'll get the follow-up. Awkward in Dissolve's corner, and RL Aspect doesn't have much boost here. Just going to try to look for a clear. Does well to take it down the field. As Cosme looking himself, gets a nice 50. RL Aspect was in the corner briefly, but couldn't quite get it. Now Motion will have another opportunity. Problem to Sicko. That one's just off. Another good attempt. And Motion look much more put together this game than they did last game, I'll say.
Yeah, you know, early in the season, sometimes it's hard for teams to build that chemistry, but we're 4 games into the season now, and it looks like Motion's playing so well as a unit. They're all rotating around each other. They're not giving Dissolved any free opportunities. Every time there's a Motion player on the ball waiting to meet.
Does seem that way, and they've definitely figured out the rotations. Also figured out the accuracy much more, as this could be an open net for Dissolved. Flame Intruder gonna try to put this one through. The save on the goal line will be just good enough. Now 40 seconds left. Dissolved have to try and find something quick here. They want to make a comeback. Backflip from Problem. This could be an opportunity as Cosme gets a nice beat. Wolfie gonna have to try to control this one. A little bit of an awkward ball. Actually letting his teammate go there. Good communication in the corner, but Flame Intruder there with a shot is going to be just off the post, and the follow-up blocked, and oh my goodness, Bubbly. Dissolved, you really feel like they should have been scoring that one.
That feels so bad. You know there's limited time down by 2. You gotta get something, and it's right there. You can't finish it off. That's gotta hurt, but that is still tied in the series. They took the first game, and I'm looking forward to see what they change up this next game.
And they definitely will have to adjust now, as it seems like Motion not really making as many errors as they made in the first game. A couple of opportunities there were Dissolved, almost just got free goals, but Motion seemed to make it back just in time when they needed to. And now we'll have to see. I mean, what do you think that Dissolved needs to change to try to deal with this new and improved Motion?
I think this Motion rotating so well, Dissolved has got to find a way to work with each other. As somebody said, they're restarting their games. So it'll be a little longer break, but they really got to start working together more. We only really saw like 2 or 3 pass attempts that whole game. The rest were just shots on net that weren't all that threatening. Got to find a way to work together, move it around Motion, make them use their boost instead of using all your boosts. Just anything.
Yeah, something to note there is Dissolved had 8 shots on net, but managed to score absolutely none of them, which is really unfortunate. Meanwhile, on the other half, Motion only had 3 shots, less than half of Dissolve's, but Motion was able to convert 2 of those 3 opportunities. So the accuracy just looking a little bit better, and maybe Dissolve shooting the ball a little bit too much on net, like you said, when they should be passing more, trying to find each other, and trying to get shots on net that are going to result in more goals actually being scored. A lot of the times, it does feel like the more balls you shoot, the more likely the ball is to go in the net. But with some teams, that just doesn't work, as their defense is more prepared. Either way, heading into Game 3 now, definitely a pivotal point in the series. So whoever wins will go up on match point. We'll have to see where the momentum will swing. Wolfie looking for the touch, almost found it actually. I like the idea, but not a very high percentage shot there, and Flame will look, but instead chooses to go for the net once again. Instead of looking for the pass, here comes Cosme, gets it off the sidewall. Wolfie just back in time. He will be able to keep the danger from escalating. As Cosme takes a dribble. Nice little possession play, but Wolf 50 in the midfield. Sicko up first, knocking that one out. And another opportunity for Dissolve. This Flame gets it past one, looks for the double touch, but doesn't quite have enough boost. Here comes Sicko, trying to get another touch off the corner. Can't find it. That's not a shot that we'd really expect most people to hit. But that's one that almost goes on target as Flame looking to get this one through. And so far, I don't know if it's just me, Bubbly, but these teams are looking a little bit more aggressive to each other than previously.
It's definitely sped up since the last 2 games. Everybody's using more boost trying to get things done. but we're still really not seeing a change in playstyle from either of these teams. Motion seemed content to just sit back, counterattack, and Dissolve still high flying. Though we did see the one big attempt from Wolfie on the offensive end. I feel like Dissolved has got to try something different. Anything. Maybe some bumps. Might be time to bring that out.
That is something that can work, especially if the speed is increased. Might be able to find people out of position. That's a nice flick middle, but just a little bit too high for the other attacker to take advantage of. Still a good idea from the offense of Dissolve, though. It's going to be sent back, and now Flame Intruder forced to make a good touch here. Gets it past 2, actually. A nice touch. And Dissolved will escape danger for now. This ball going to the midfield. No one there from Motion, as both of them are sitting back really far, actually. And RL Aspect sitting up very far into the opponent's zone until he was looking for a redirect. And oh my goodness, Sicko almost got bumped into a really precise shot, but unfortunately that one will go off the crossbar. Wolfie trying to get this one out. Dissolved stays alive for now, but it does seem like a ball is about to be scored, and Cosme coming through on the counterattack. Motion might have overcommitted just a tad there.
They finally found an opening in the motion rotation. Problem takes extra second to go for the boost instead of the ball. That's all he needed to slot that right in the middle of the net on the quick counterattack.
And it seemed like Problem thought he could get back in time there, but was unfortunately mistaken. Now Dissolved finally taking the lead back. So they're looking to extend it. This ball will get cleared up to Sicko, who's on the sidewall. Can't find the touch, but he looks for the double. Almost gets the triple. My goodness. Almost a highlight reel play coming out of Sicko, but unfortunately, it will just barely be stopped by the defense. And that would have been a sight to see, Bubbly.
Who said subs can't live up to expectations? That was great from somebody who's supposed to be the bottom of the barrel for the Challenger League. He looks like he's the best on the field mechanically for Motion. Gotta keep continuing to make opportunities like that happen with just a minute left in this game.
And if he can, doesn't even need to do anything that complicated, but I will agree he's looked like one of the more mechanical players, even one of the faster players in the lobby at times. Definitely not out of his element here, subbing up for this Challenger League game. Still though, he's going to have to try use that ability to make something happen quickly. His Motion now with only 1 minute left on the clock. And the ball is in their half. Cosme looks for the touch. It's going to be off the backboard. No follow-up there, as a risky back pass from Cosme, but good communication to avoid any sort of tragedy. Dissolve still seem to have pressure. Finally broken here as Wolfie beats the defender. Looks for the demo as well. That would have been clutch, but can't quite find it. Cosme up to RL Aspect. The shot lacks power. And Problem will take it under his wing with no problem. This one's going to head out into the Dissolved half once again. Motion needs to find something fast here. They don't want to be down on match point, and RL Aspect looking for the shot, gets it past, and the net will be slightly open. Sicko barely back just in time. You really like to see this, though. It does seem like Dissolved is going for more passes this game. As Motion with the last opportunity of the game, they're going to have to try get something, but this is going to be tough as RL Aspect gets the beat, and they won't get one more goal, but they will win the game as Dissolve now up 2-1 in the series.
So, after last game, I thought Dissolved had to change it up, and they just came out hyper fast, hyper aggressive. They just pounded Motion until they made a mistake. Motion isn't going to make a mistake, just make more opportunities for them to make mistakes. And no, I would say Motion has to change it up, but maybe they could just keep rotating well and pick up their rotation a little bit. This really just looks like a battle between the mechanics against rotations.
Yeah, and the constant in this series does seem to be that Dissolved is using all of the pressure and Motion, just kind of trying to create those counterattack opportunities. As Dissolved didn't actually outscore, it looks like 5-5, or excuse me, I can't count. 6-4 in the shot department, which not quite as large of a difference as in the last game, but it looks like when Motion can deal with the offense of Dissolved effectively, which is a good portion of the time, they can avoid getting scored on, make those counterattacks happen. I mean, they just need to score more goals. That's what it seems to me, Bubbly.
I mean, saying goes, offense wins games, defense wins championships. If you can play defense long enough, if they never score, you can never lose.
That's true. If you don't score either, then an eternal stalemate, I suppose.
I would be
We
here
still
for
have yet to
that.
see that on a Nemesis stream. I hear they're adding stalemates in Rocket League too, though, so you guys might want to hang around for that. We'll
Unreal
see though
Engine
as we
5.
we will be heading into game number 4 here. Dissolved on match point, looking to close out the series. Meanwhile, Motion trying to stay alive, and really staying alive seems like it is their main strategy, not only in the games but also the series. Don't know if you'd agree with me there, Bubbly, but
Oh yeah. I mean, if you hold out long enough, get Game 5 content for the stream. Sounds exciting to me.
that's true. Hopefully they're just trying to make my prediction that Bubbly made me do come true. That's a nice demo there from RL Aspect, opening up some space for his teammates. And so far, Motion able to break out a little bit, and Sicko, there's the mechanics we've been talking about. Reads the pass perfectly, and there's the goals we want to see from Motion.
Oh yeah, that was a quick counterattack, which been their staple. What hasn't been their staple is the amazing read coming out from Sicko. Just sitting upfield cherry picking, gets the perfect redirect. There's nothing Dissolve can do.
That was a confident touch. I really want to see more out of this from Sicko. We've already seen a little taste of his mechanics, finally getting a full spoonful there. But we really need to see Motion increase that goal scoring potential if they want to take this series. Now they are finally in the lead once again. Flame Intruder in an awkward spot here, gets one touch. The problem will get it past him. Clear out as a miss from the defender. Both players jump, but neither actually decide to go for the ball. Looks like a little bit of miscommunication there. You know, sometimes when you put two very polite players on the same team, it can have that sort of effect. But it won't add up to another goal for Motion quite yet. This one's staying in the midfield. RL Aspect gets a nice touch, but will get demoed for his trouble. This one comes straight down. No attackers there for Dissolved. They are playing a little bit more patiently so far, it seems, in this game. I really don't know if that's a strategy that's going to work for them, though, Bubbly.
Yeah, I mean, Dissolve was doing great. They just won their last game, playing super fast. And then all of a sudden, game 4, they come out and slow down, taking touches, they're controlling the ball. After that, hasn't been what's worked for them so far this series. I think they just gotta pick up the pace back to where it was last game. Finish some goals off.
Yeah, if we can see that same kind of aggression. I mean, they still have yet to even get a shot in this game halfway through. At this point in most of the other games, they were high up. And this one, oh my goodness, what a pre-jump from RL Aspect. That's like the second or third time I've seen him do that, actually. I think this guy might be cheating. Either way, Motion with another opportunity. Sicko can't make the shot. That was a big chance for them. Now it will be Dissolved on the counterattack with the opportunity. Seems like Motion was able to get back just in time, though, as two players on the backboard. Once again, neither want to go for it, and they're kind of just letting the ball drop. That was a very risky defensive play there from Motion, but not punished for it this time. This Flame looks to get another touch. Won't be able to find it. Motion might have an opportunity here on offense as Wolfie gets this one through. There's no one back. Oh, excuse me. Flame Intruder is back. He was a little bit invisible on my screen. But still Dissolved under some heavy pressure. I don't know if they can get back to this one. Flame Intruder on the spawn. Barely gets back in time. But there will be a follow-up shot, and Wolfie puts Motion up too.
This series has flipped on its head merely. Dissolved is trying to play slow and calculated, and Motion just keeps getting these creative plays. Sicko leading the charge down there, and just easy finish for them.
Yeah, it seems like they're the ones making pressure plays now. That one started off with the demo that led to the defense being put in a tough position. And still, it's Dissolved who are on the back foot, still with no shots taken. If you don't shoot the ball, you can't really score it, as Michael Scott or Wayne Gretzky might say. Either way, a minute to go here. Dissolve struggling to find any sort of continued pressure. Looks like Motion has really figured them out, at least in this game. And that one's going to go on target as well. RL Aspect barely able to make it back in time. The problem did go up for that one, but decided to bail. This ball's going to bounce awkwardly off the corner again. This one up. Dissolve just keeps being pressured back into their half. The tables have completely flipped, it seems, like you said, Bubbly. As now it's Motion with all of the pressure, all of the goals, all of the shots, and all of, well, okay, they actually don't have all the saves. I want that to be pretty dramatic, but Dissolved has like 11 or 5 saves, so not really too accurate.
It seems close enough. Motion really just has everything except the saves, because there's nothing else for Dissolve to get but saves. It seems this slow, methodical play still isn't.
Yeah,
working
that's
for
true.
him.
It would be hard for Motion to get saves when there aren't any shots coming out their net. And this is a complete shutout in game number 4 here. This is exactly the kind of game that Motion needed heading into
There's
game
a
5. Oh!
They got one.
If only
Too little,
that
too
one
late
game.
though. Couldn't finish it out. You know, I really think you gotta take that one shot. You take whatever momentum you got. It's a game 5. It's exciting, stream. Where's the stream announcement?
Oh yeah, game 5 announcement. Squirrel, get on it. Well, you know, if they can take the, okay, so they got one shot, but it was in the last 2 seconds of the game. So if they take a shot every 2 seconds going in using that momentum, I think they have a pretty high chance to win.
You know, I think you might just be onto something.
I think I figured out
but
how to win Rocket League.
but despite that, I think after watching that game, Motion looked like the heavy favorites going into this game. Like we saw a couple double commits out from Dissolved. They're playing slow. If you're playing slow and not playing well together as a team, you're just not going to be able to do anything on offense or defense. Although they did do pretty good on defense that series.
Yeah, they actually, I mean, they got 5 saves out of 7 shots for Motion. Their saves, especially those pre-jumps from RL Aspect, or yeah, RL Aspect, I don't know how he got some of those. But their defense doesn't look bad. They just allowed themselves to get pressured over and over and over until eventually it was borderline impossible to keep the ball out of the net. But I have to agree, they just look slow. If they can speed things up, they have to try to find their form from one of the previous games where they won, because when they're just going fast and competing for balls, they seem to be a much better team. We'll see if they can figure out the key to victory as we do head into game number 5 here. We'll see if it's a good one. It's Cosme to Flame. Back to Cosme. No boost to work with, but might be able to get this one past. Can't quite, and now problem with low boost. Gonna try a flick high. Can't quite get the touch, but Sicko gets it past the defender. No follow-up there, but that was a nice play to keep the ball from being sent back into their half directly. Dissolved on defense once again. So far looking like a repeat of the previous game. Problem forced to jump. Able to make the save after, though. Nice play as Problem looks for the flick. Can't quite find the play past all the defenders. 4 minutes in. No one's scored yet, Bubbly. I really think that the person who scores first, I don't think they've lost a game yet this series, but it's more important than ever in game number 5.
Oh yeah, and Motion looks like they found a whole nother level of speed. They're like super hyper aggressive. Saw Dissolve try and come out fast, but it just got immediately shut down by Motion, as they seem to be on every ball right now.
They really are, and they're hitting balls, they're bumping, they're looking very quick, I'd have to agree. Still though, Dissolve getting some opportunities. This one's gonna bounce high. Sickle will be there first though. It's 2 Dissolve players waiting in net. This one might be another opportunity. Problem barely able to clear that one away. A little bit dangerous, but not too risky, and that's an unfortunate miss there. Almost disaster for the Dissolve defense. They're staying alive for now, trying to get something going on the other end. Another ball that just slightly goes wide. And at least I think that, oh, no, never mind. They're not getting shots. These don't count. They're not close enough. But they are getting some opportunities as this one goes off the same point in the post. I think the ball's gone off of the last 3 times. Dissolved finding some success on offense, but still not enough to make it work. Flame Intruder gets this one high. Another shot opportunity, and finally, Dissolved will put one home.
We finally see somebody just put it on net. We talked about the last couple games, passing, working together, but neither team had a shot until right there. And the first one on net goes in.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes when you're trying a little bit too hard to come up with ways to take down your opponents, you might get in your head a little bit. You know, passing is great, rotating is great, getting demos to open up space is great, but you know, sometimes you just need to shoot the ball on net. And that's the one thing that Dissolved were definitely doing right in the beginning of this series, and now they're getting their saves in as well. But it's what we want to see from them again, as looking for another one. Flame can't quite follow that one. Cosme will challenge. The ball's still not too dangerous, so this one's going to go center. Should be a clear 4 problem. That one's a little bit awkward. Might actually allow Motion an opportunity as Sicko. It's a flick past one. Wolfie looking for the touch. Can't get the second double, but problem with a shot here, and it's actually blocked by Wolfie. That was one of the best opportunities that Motion's had so far. Really unfortunate that he was caught out by a player rotating back, and now it's Dissolved right back on offense. With 2 minutes left, Bubbly, Motion needs to find something here quickly.
Yeah, Motion looks like they're playing so fast, but then they're just running out of boost, and they're forced to flip all the way back to defense. They give up possession. They came out so fast that I feel like they've lost it now. And they got a minute and a half. There's no game after this. This is the one you have to win.
And this is absolutely do or die. Whoever wins will see their record get a nice boost, as 3-2 just not quite as impressive as 4-1. Either way, these teams are battling it out. Cosme looking to keep it close. Won't be able to find the follow-up. Motion trying to get the ball out of their half, but once again, not able to get it past the midfield. Now only a minute left. Motion looking desperately to get something through. Sicko trying to pass down. It's blocked by not one, but 2 Dissolved defenders. This one's going to go high up. This is the best opportunity that they've had so far, and Motion finally gets a ball through the defense.
They finally slowed down enough to let the whole team catch up. Sicko with some great pass, 2 great bumps, left the net wide open for Wolfie. There's nothing that Dissolve could do to dodge those bumps. There's nothing they could do to save that ball.
And those bumps were really crucial there. A great play from Sicko. He just keeps showing up in the series. As, I mean, if the defenders keep saving your balls, what's the easiest thing to do? Just remove the defenders, and they can't save them anymore. We'll have to see if it is enough. Tie game. Might be heading to overtime here in Game 5. Would seem thematically appropriate, as that one was a little bit dangerous. Flame Intruder was back. The ball's going to go out to Cosme to RL Aspect. That one's on net. Wolfie making it back just in time. Showing his defensive prowess once again. This one will be sent back into the Dissolved half. Looking over for Cosme. Cosme with the shot.
Oh.
And one of the first passes we've seen in field, but it's one of the best goals of the series.
That was an outstanding play from Dissolved. Instead of putting it on net, you find a teammate and you get it back post. The shot placement was right there. And 10 seconds left, you gotta see something on kickoff.
I hope we do, but I don't know if we will. All that Dissolved has to do, but that's not what they want to do. Cosme forced to make an awkward save. I think if the demotion defender just had a little, or attacker had a little bit more confidence, they could have had that one. That was an overtime waiting to happen, but Motion can't make it happen, and Dissolved will win in 5. Prediction, by the way. But a great series from both, and unfortunate that it was ended this way.
Dissolved, they really playing with fire at the end. Can't pass it up in front of the net. That's
It looked like they
rule
wanted
number 1.
overtime to happen.
Honestly, yeah. You just gotta get the ball clear. There's 10 seconds left, up by 1. How do you pop it middle and not get punished for it?
That is truly unfortunate for Motion, but they had a great look. Did well to counter Dissolve's playstyle in 2 of the games. Just weren't able to come out on top in the Game 5. Always a difficult position to be in. And also props to Dissolve for hanging in there. The momentum was definitely against them. But they were able to pull out the victory. And This will be our last matchup of the night. We've got another series of games coming back on Wednesday, like always. Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays. You never want to miss it. We'll have another great round of games. But for now, that is all. We'll see you guys back here in about 48 hours. Hope you all have a fantastic night. And thank you once again, Bubbly, for commentating with me. And welcome to the booth.
It's an honor to be let into the booth with the one and only Merely. Glad you got to be my first time on the mainstream. I'm glad that was the series I got to cast. It was a lot of fun.
Starting out strong with the best of 5. We like it. All right, guys. Take care. We'll catch you later.
And now it's clear to see the light behind the suffering. Believe we'll finally be free. Took me down, and you're feeling all alone. So long, darling. Right here and now, we can